Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I want to tell you about our great friends over at Streetside Brewery. You will find them at 4003 Eastern Avenue, Cincinnati, Ohio, located over in the Columbia-Tusculum-ish area, East End, maybe, depending on exactly which map you're looking at. Fantastic brewery. Absolutely love them. Had one of their beers last night while watching the game. And what I love about them is that they are such great community members. Look, coming up all through the next couple of weeks, they've got tons of cool, fun events. They do a blood drive on June 4th from 12 to 6 p.m. All donors will receive a USA World Cup jersey and a $5 Streetside gift card. What? I'm sorry. That sounds like a great deal. They also have live music and trivia on Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m. It is a cool time. Go check them out if you haven't already. Huge thank you to Streetside for sponsoring this episode. Thank you, listener, for checking them out. And on today's episode, well, it's a one-note kind of show, okay? There was a big game last night, a wild finish to this game. It ends up 3-3. Do you feel good about this one? Do you feel bad about this one? How do we feel coming out of the draw against our bitter rivals, San Diego? Okay, that was, oh man, that was a wild game. The backline asked a lot of questions, gave us a lot of answers as well, okay? But it all builds up to this coming Saturday, Orlando. We'll have more about it later this week. But then that starts the, 7-8 week gap between matches in the middle of the season while the World Cup goes on. So let's enjoy it. Let's savor these matches while we have them and enjoy this latest episode of the Cincy Postcast. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I am joined by two gentlemen who did not help me with yard work at all today. Joined by the Chief, joined by Grayson. Chief, it's kind of scary how much my life revolves around yard work these days. Mowing patterns. I'm planting flowers and plants and stuff now. I think I'm middle-aged. I think that's what this is.
Yeah. I always thought that like the whole guy into yard work thing was just I want to get away from my family for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And it's a good excuse to put some headphones in and make the kids the other parent's problem for a while simultaneously, like I can't be accused of slacking off. I don't care. Like it's like if you're into yard work and you like the way your yard looks and that's your thing, more power to you. If that brings you joy, awesome. For me, it is minimal compliance. Am I gonna get cited by the city for having the grass too long? And as long as it's lower than that, we are good to go.
Now, I will say I am not like weirdly obsessive about my lawn. Like, I think I'm the only house on the block that doesn't spray their lawn with like weird chemicals that, as far as I can tell, kill every plant except for the one specific variety of grass that grows. Like, I love the look of my lawn because it's full of clover and like these little purple and yellow flowers, and everybody else is just these boring green things. And I got something else going on. But yeah, Chief, I was that way as well. And then I had two giant bushes die in front of our house. I don't want to replace them with giant bushes. Bushes expensive, turns out, if you just want to buy a big old mature bush. So I've been trying to replace it with like some flowers, some shrubbery, some little things here and there. And it's a giant pain in the ass. I don't know.
Grayson, your thoughts?
It's like many things, you know, it's kind of irrelevant where I land on it.
I mean, don't dig too deeply. You'll defeat the entire purpose of this podcast.
It exists. It exists to be done.
Yes.
And it is on one to do it.
Do you look forward to doing it, or is it like emptying the trash can for you? Just like a thing that must be done from time to time?
Man, I don't even know. It's just like you just got to do it.
Yeah.
You live a certain kind of life. There are things that need to be done that are just required to kind of maintain. I spent like 30 minutes stretching yesterday. Right? Like, it's not a workout, right? It doesn't like make me in better shape. It doesn't like make me look better, right? It's just like the list of maintenance chores grows, as time goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into the outdoors thing unless I've got like a golf club in my hands. Like, that's the only reason why I'm going to be outdoors at this point.
Well, Chief, just real quick, just to put a point on it. Speaking of putting the headphones in and sort of disappearing, I was cracking my wife up. I found this little indie book that I started listening to sort of on tape. Lord of the Rings. Not sure if you've heard of it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Never got around to reading it. I've certainly seen the movies, and let me tell you, 2 hours in, I see the appeal. Okay, it's pretty.
Wait until you get to the two towers and the trees start talking to one another. I've always tapped out at the exact same part of the Lord of the Rings. I've tried to read it 3 times, and I get to a point in the two towers, and I'm like, I just don't have the patience for this. I'm going to do quite literally anything else. I will read another book.
I don't know if it would change anything for you, but Andy Serkis is the one who is reading this and does pretty good voice. So it makes it entertaining.
All right. Yeah, maybe.
I always preferred, and it's been a long time since I've read these books, but I had preferred The Hobbit as a read.
So I'm 2 hours in, so I could probably bail now. And the book started the sort of preamble with a sort of synopsis of The Hobbit. Should I have started with The Hobbit?
I don't think that you have to, because it was written after The Lord of the Rings. Like, The Hobbit comes first in the timeline, but I think The Lord of the Rings was written first before The Hobbit, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know that you need to.
I'm not sure that I'm not a Tolkien scholar, but I'm not sure that's right.
The preface seemed to think that The Hobbit came out and was a huge hit, and people kept asking him for background on hobbits, and what became like his sort of like backstory slowly evolved into The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it says The Lord of the Rings is the successor.
Like, yeah, in timeline, but which book was written first?
The Hobbit, like way before. The Hobbit was written in 1937.
And then
Lord of the Rings came out 54 to 55.
Yeah. He finishes writing it in like 49 and then edits it for a couple of years.
Like I said, not a Tolkien guy.
Yeah, I think the Hobbit movies were terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
As somebody who read, and liked The Hobbit quite a bit as a child, it's one I think I read several times, and I was a big fan of the 70s cartoon that they made. The Hobbit movies were such a disappointment, and I think I blame the success of the Lord of the Rings movies because they tried too hard to make the Hobbit movies tonally match the Lord of the Rings movies, and then they also felt the need to like throw in, well, everybody knows this ring is a big deal, so we need to like throw in characters that know the ring's a big deal, because none of the main characters know this.
Right.
Also, like, didn't they they took one book and made it into 2 movies, and it's not exactly a long book.
They made it into 3 movies. It's shorter than any single Lord of the Rings book, and they made 3 movies out of it.
Right.
What are you doing? It was a fun romp, and you made it torture.
Yes.
Yeah, that was big in Hollywood. That was big in Hollywood when it was like, oh no, we're going to take this one book is too big to be just one movie. So we're going to have 2 movies for the final Harry Potter book, and 2 movies for the final Hunger Games book, and 3 movies for it's more is not always more in anything in life.
If I spent $1 billion to adapt a book and it wasn't close to as good as a 60-minute cartoon from the 70s that came on like TV, I would feel so bad about myself.
We're dumb.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I would show my face anywhere. I certainly would stop making movies.
They don't really talk about Peter Jackson anymore, do they? Like, he kind of bombed out.
He's doing he did The Lovely Bones, which wasn't well received. He's got something coming. I saw his name recently.
Okay.
Oh, Tintin. He's doing Tintin.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Why not?
I have no attachments to Tintin, so I
nobody under 100.
It does nothing for me. Yeah.
Right. No non-European under 100 does.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, whatever.
Well,
today's episode of the Cincy Postcast is also brought to you by E&L Roofing. Look, I get it. Hearing the words new roof can cause your stress levels to elevate. But when you need a new roof, the folks at E&L Roofing can help make that process easier. Since 2009, they've been serving the greater Cincinnati area and helping to keep everyone safe, dry, and covered, no matter what life brings you. It's springtime storm season, and it's a great time to get your roof checked out. Me, I had the folks from E&L out at my place recently for some work. Honestly, could not have been happier with the result. Even caused my mother-in-law to say, picked out a nice color on that. And you know what? It's a win in my book. Plus, if you need siding and gutter work done, they've got you covered there too. And as a special value for our listeners, mention the Cincy Postcast when scheduling your inspection for up to 20% off a replacement roof, replacement siding, or replacement gutters. You can find them on the web and schedule your free inspection at elroofing.com or L Roofing if you're listening to this on Cinco de Mayo. elroofing.com. E&L Roofing, keeping you covered, even if the back three for FC Cincinnati doesn't always.
I don't know about you guys, but I was up late last night watching this game. I will tell you, just up front, I watched the first half, no problem. We're staying up late. We're enjoying our time. I was drinking some street side, the New Zealand pale ale, delicious. Well done,
Delightful.
boys. We get to halftime. I know I'm feeling sleepy. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know if I should stay on the couch or not. I fall asleep probably around the 85th minute. I wake up to see the final goal. And I thought, oh my God, we won. Oh my God, no, we did not win. Oh man. I don't know how your guys' experience was. Yeah.
Well, no, I watched the entire thing because I'm an adult and can regulate my bedtime. And
that doesn't sound right.
I know, right? It was the stupidest possible way to have an exciting finish to a game. And it was very much, it was the most NBA MLS game of all time, where you really only had to watch like the last 5 minutes of the game. And everything that led up to that point, you probably was take or leave. You didn't need to see. Didn't really add anything to your understanding of anything about the game state, about the team. Like, just it was the Hobbit to the 5 minutes that were the Lord of the Rings at the very end.
Hey,
I disagree. I disagree pretty strongly, I think, because like in the NBA or even college basketball, right? You turn a game on, there's 2-3 minutes left, and you can like look at the score and you know exactly what to expect and like what needs to happen for either team. Like the specific, there's like three scenarios, right? And you know like exactly what needs to happen for the team that's winning to hold serve, for the team that's losing to come back and win it, or whatever. Like there's just only so many permutations of how that game is going to go. And you can also probably have a pretty good idea of how the game got there. But I think you had to watch this game to like kind of feel, I forget who he played, San Diego. To kind of feel, Yeah.
It's true.
See, I think you had to have watched the whole game or most of the game to like really feel San Diego's goal at the end and to then experience that low moment and have totally turned off your engagement with the game to then experience that shock, like Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction, the shock of just like coming back to life with the Jabari Barlow combination. Like neither one of those in those moments, the way they happened, is anything really you would have expected in this game. And certainly having experienced the first one, you don't know what the next 10 seconds of this game looks like.
I'm going to argue that if you are a true fan of FC Cincinnati, and like the biggest FC Cincinnati fan.
For that reason, I'm out.
I know. If you are a true FC Cincinnati fan, you didn't see the game tying goal. Because if you're a true FC Cincinnati fan, the second San Diego scored, you should have been immediately looking down at your phone to fire off takes about how bad this team is and how badly the roster has been managed. And in that moment that you were getting your takes ready to throw out, that's when the goal happened. So if you saw this goal, I think that probably makes you a bad fan.
Ooh, interesting. Oh, damn. I did see this goal. Who scores it too, with the Jabari assisting Barlow, probably undid 100 of the tweets that were sent out between the goals as well, which is like, you can't build this team. They brought in all these bum strikers. Oh wait, they just combined to score.
Barlow's game-winning goal was a .46 XG.
Ooh,
so nice, like great job getting into position and doing that. And obviously that's a huge chance, great opportunity. What do you think the XG of his first goal was?
Like
without looking at it.
0.95.
I would say like 0.8.
0.91. It was a 0.99 expected goal. It was a 0.99 expected goal on target.
Okay, that's fair. So it's accounting for the chance that you sky it.
He scores it from the 1 foot line. I don't think it's possible. I'm not sure
I've seen a goal with those high of numbers. I think the highest one I've seen, certainly the highest one I've seen as miss, was that there was like a DeAndre Yedlin header last year.
Oh yeah,
that I think was was like north of 0.8.
What was that one that Locadia missed in the MLS's back?
Oh my goodness, that was probably pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. Jossie Zardes used to be the king of those, just the most point blank miss of all time, and then would go on to score like a world class goal later. Like, I can't.
Is there a theoretical maximum for XG? Like, is it possible to have a 1 XG opportunity?
I think a 1 is a goal. So. I think a 0.99 and then however many nines you want to throw after it. I think it's the highest you can go.
Like, it's always going to give you a small percentage that, like, all of a sudden you've, like, at that moment you fall forward and knock the ball backwards. Like, you trip over the ball. Especially just pure XG.
Right.
I think, you have to account for, like, the goalkeeper doing something. You have to account for a little bit of it. Different models account for the goalkeeper and his position or not. But I think it is a 0.0 to 0.9 scale, basically.
Well, good on Tom for not screwing that up.
Yeah, right. Did he really score it so much as it bounced off of his foot? Like, I can't remember him making a move.
Yeah, I think Evander called bank on that one, so it was okay.
Right. He didn't make a football move, so I'm not sure he gets credit for it.
So I know I said at the beginning of this that, like, really, you just had to watch the last couple minutes, and I still stand by that. Like, the rest of this game was it was punctuated by interesting minutes if you were an FC fan, but for the most part, whatever. I do think that, so as a big picture, next Saturday will be the last game of this portion of the season for the FC. After Saturday, they will be on hiatus, I think, until July 22nd, which is an absurd amount of time to go without playing a soccer game. It's a full-on off season that they're going to have between this Saturday and the next game. But like, I do think that in this game, if you didn't already believe that this team needs to do like a hockey line change with everyone that plays defense on this team, if you were still holding out hope that there was a way to work this out or work through this, I think that this game had to be the one that broke any hope that the personnel on this team can work their way into something that is sustainable. And that this game was in many ways a microcosm of what is wrong with this team, what was right with this team, and a glaring sort of like picture as to what this team needs to change going forward.
Yeah. Let's start with the lineup. Okay. Because I think that's where so much of this stems from, is essentially the personnel and what was laid out here. And I think there's plenty to dive into with the team that was rolled out against San Diego. So in goal, Roman Celentano. Your back line from left to right: Miles Robinson on the left, Matt Miazga in the middle, Nick Hagland on the right. Kenji Momba Dem, which to be clear, his last name is both Momba Dem. Your left, Moma?
I think it's Mboma.
Mboma. Okay, I'll get it right eventually. Mboma Dem is the left wing back, and Buka's your right wing back. Anunga and Gidi in the midfield, and the defensive spaces there. Evander just ahead of them. Kevin Dinke and Dado Valenzuela up top. Bizarre setup. So, Chief, let me ask you this then. How much of this lineup is rotation? 3 matches in 1 week. You're traveling to the West Coast. We saw they traveled maybe a little bit earlier than they normally do for this one as well, versus actually trying something new here.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I think a little bit is the rotation in terms of you're moving Dado up to the striker position. I think a little bit is experimentation, seeing what Kenji looks like out as a winger, which I think produced some mixed results, is how I would describe that. And then the back line is the back line. It's your 3 healthiest center backs that you have, I guess. I don't know.
The broadcast called them Pat Noonan's first choice lineup, and it was the first time this season that he had all 3 of his first choice center backs available for selection.
I mean, I think that's undeniable.
Yeah,
that these are Pat Noonan's first choice center backs.
Okay, Pat Noonan's first choice center backs. Let's say between the 3 of us, is this our first choice lineup?
Well,
Backline,
you can't consider Chirilla
because he's out on concussion protocol.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can't consider Teenage Adabi because he's in talent protocol.
And you can't consider Gilberto Flores for the same reason.
Yeah.
He may or may not be on the team anymore. I do think once you have Brian Ramirez not starting, whether you want to view it as a benching, I don't think it was. I think it was rotation. Once you need to fill that gap, Kenji makes the most sense there. And once you take him out, it is a little weird that Jabari or Barlow didn't start up top. But
I don't know. Like, they don't
over what Dado has brought to this team.
I don't know. I don't know, like, if they view that as it's less mileage, it's easier for him to play striker than it is for him to continue to play midfield match after match in terms of wear and tear or total minutes. In the past, they used to do that with Lucho back in the day, where Lucho would get leg rest up at the top, playing in that second striker role next to whomever was the starting striker. and it was a way to keep him on the field. I think if you're a Valenzuela stan, if you're a Dado stan, you have to view that as positive, that they were looking for a way to keep him in the lineup. Same thing with Kenji. I think if you're one of them boys, you've really gotta view it as positive that they were looking for a way to keep him in the lineup. Pat Noonan, hatred of kids, overrated, or at the very least, when push comes to shove and he needs a result, he'll be willing to start anyone, regardless of if he hates them for being young or not. I don't know. With regard to the first choice center back thing, though,
yeah,
if that is the case, that needs to be dead. After, it's going to have, there's nothing you can really do next week or this Saturday. It is what it is. But in this match, you saw on full display that I would argue all three, Miles, Matt, and Nick. And look, this is not personal against any one of these guys. I am a Matt Miazga guy. I love Matt Miazga. I love the attitude. I love what he brought to the team. I love what he's done for this team. I loved him before this, playing for Chelsea, going over as the first American to play for Chelsea. I will forever be a Matt Miazga guy. He doesn't have it anymore. And I understand completely the idea of, hey, it's a 1-year option. At his best, he was MLS Defensive Player of the Year caliber. We'll take a flyer and see if he can still be that versus paying a transfer fee and signing someone to a 3-year deal. We can always do that in the summer, but we've got him here. Let's see if he's got it. The answer at this point is a resounding he doesn't have it. Whatever that is. I don't know if that's in his head. I don't know if it's his physical tools slipping. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't got it. And with Nick Hagglund, I love Nick Hagglund. I'm a Nick Hagglund guy. I think Nick Hagglund is a tremendous part of this roster. He is a value add depth piece that has uses in certain deployments, but they're both too slow. And it's not just too slow from a recovery speed. It's just too slow in the operation of receiving and moving the ball. And it's too slow in the operation of getting the team to where it needs to be in order to pass through a high press or to link the offense and the defense. I love Brian Anunga. Brian Anunga, great player, great value contract. He can't be your option in the midfield because he just doesn't have the ability that you need to help progress and move the soccer ball around. I know people love Miles. I know the team loves Miles Robinson. I know he's not going anywhere. So this is just me. Yeah, this is just me talking. This is just me yapping. Miles Robinson is too slow with the ball too. The ball does not move quickly enough when Miles Robinson has it as part of the back line. And he is part of this 3-man back line that is slow, ponderous, and plodding, and that gets trapped on its own half of the field too often because it does not move with any sense of urgency. It does not move the ball quickly. It does not look to advance the ball up the field for line-breaking passes, big runs, whatever. It all has to change this summer. They were lucky to get a result out of this game, as it turns out, and they need to do a full, complete rethink of the entire back line and the defensive portions of the midfield. Like, it all has to change.
Grayson, let me ask you this. If Sharilla was healthy, do you think he would have started this game? Or do you think this was the goal all along and everything else was sort of patching it?
I would hope he would. I think, one of my, I guess, longstanding complaints about how the team has played and set up is that it's like we're built with the understanding that we're not going to have much of the ball. We're not going to be completing a ton of passes. I know that wasn't the case like every game this season, but with this but with this personnel, it tends to be the case, right?
Yeah.
and that we're going to absorb a lot of pressure, block a lot of shots, defend. And when you throw Hagelin, Miazga, Robinson, and Anunga out there, you're not going to really do anything else, but I would hope that if Cirillo was healthy, he would be an option. It would be chosen, because even if you because he has been so good with the ball and such a good passer.
Yeah.
I would also suggest that Sammy Guidi should be looked at as, at least short term, a reliable option at center back.
I agree.
Is he a better center back than midfielder?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because it's all relative skill sets. It's all relative skill sets in that he is a poor passer for a midfielder. But at center back, that's a plus tool for him compared to other center backs. With the ball at his feet, he is decent as a midfielder. With the ball at his feet as a center back, he's elite. Now, you're giving up some height with him playing as a center back. But it's not a coincidence that the best this team has looked and the most comfortable this team has looked playing out of the back, beating a high press and possessing the ball, has been with Chirilla, good on the ball, Guidi, good on the ball, and then playing in front of them, Dado Valenzuela, good on the ball. That's, you put also, your best
Kyle
ball handlers.
Kyle Smith is decent with the ball. He's okay with the ball. He's better on the ball than Hagelin. No offense to anybody, right?
Yeah.
I think that the stats of the bottom line stats or the top line stats, I don't know what the phrase is, I don't really care, are interesting.
There's a line though.
because possession is about what you'd expect. Yeah. And what you saw, it was 63-37 in favor of San Diego.
That's how San Diego plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also had a little bit more possession in the second half after Miles came off. Not much. So I would say within the margin of error. We ended up winning the XG battle. Tom Barlow carried a lot of that. I guess Evander combining with Tom Barlow carried a lot of that, but we did lose XG by a little bit in the first half. So we won XG in the second half pretty handily. We only had half as many shots as they had. We had 6 shots on target to their 5, but the numbers that I think really need to be looked at are touches in opposition box. San Diego had 36 touches in our opposition box. We had 13 in theirs. And the other stat that I want to look at is passes in the opposition half. This is like a tweet where it's say some facts that sound impossible but are true. You know?
Yeah.
San Diego had 357 this is per Font Mob, 357 passes in our half. We had 86 passes in their half.
I mean, I believe
357. Hang on. They had 357 passes in our half. We had 359 accurate passes the whole game.
Yeah. But they play this quick touch passing triangle. It's very fun to watch. It's very
but there's not a law that says San Diego gets to do that and we don't get to do that.
No, I'm just yapping. It's
a lot
of it didn't amount to anything. They passed a lot.
They don't win this game either. So
right, yeah, they passed a lot. We allowed them to pass a lot, but a lot of that was also a function of the fact that we didn't have a lot of good ball possessors on the field. So there was no one without, Dado playing that pivot role. There was no one that was going to get the ball and help advance the ball into the final third. I mean, it's also not, you don't have Chirilla, you don't have Dado, you don't have Guidi and the center back role. We also didn't try a lot of big switches of play had been so effective in the last couple of weeks prior to the Miami game. Buka didn't stop being wide open in this game. If you go back and you watch, Buka is routinely calling for the ball. No one is there to make that play to get him sprung. I posted a video online on X, the Everything app, all happening on X. San Diego was so compressed in how they were playing and how they were defending. You would think somebody would have tried, hey, let's go over the top to Pavel, or let's go over the top to somebody. We didn't try it once because we just didn't have the people on the field that like to try and make that pass. The people that like to make that pass, Sharilla, Dado, and when he's playing center back, Sammy Giddy. I don't want to be like, the end result in this game ends up being okay for the FC. It's a road point on the West Coast after 3 days off, after a midweek game where they got shellacked. In the abstract, fine. It's just like the problems and the issues with this team are so glaring that I hope to God Chris Albright is viewing this the same way. And if he's not, I want to know what he's seeing, because I don't know how you can watch this game last night and think, yeah, no, that was fun, being unable to break out of our own half on a regular basis. And that was fun, just letting them pass the ball all around our half of the field. And that was fun watching multiple times the back line turn around chasing a through ball as somebody was 1v1 with Roman. Like,
yeah, that's tough. And it was happening routinely. Like, each one of them seemed to be taking turns being the one cartoonishly chasing an on-rushing attacker. Roman had at least one amazing save in that first half that was incredible. Yeah. Bailed them all out.
Well, he did keeper, to be fair.
Yeah, actually.
The one take Evander had, I mean,
yeah,
like insane, going the wrong direction, jumps back the other way for a save on a wide open net shot Evander takes.
Yeah. And of course, it was one of those that was like, oh, they've got a 19-year-old keeper in goal. We're about to make this guy look like an all-star.
I mean, shit, right before Barlow scores his tap in, that ball is only out of play because it comes right off a free kick that Evander takes that goes over the wall, curls, and the keeper gets a hand on it and touches it over the bar.
Yeah. It's a bizarre setup, man. Like, everything about San Diego, like going into this season and even watching them play in this game, like, it is crazy to me that this team is not more successful. And maybe it all comes down to the fact that their main goalkeeper has been hurt for a while. But like, yeah, like that was like an incredibly aesthetically pleasing team that we watched. Like, the style of play is unbelievable. And yet at the end of the day, it's just like their dudes just cannot hit the ball on frame. Like, there were multiple times, especially Dreyer, I was just like, dude, you got to get one of these on frame if you're going to do anything. And
he looked like early season Evander in this game a little bit, where it's like the finished product is not, it's just not in form right now.
Now, to be clear, I'm glad he missed. I just want to make sure I was saying the wrong things there, maybe, but
no, it's okay. The announcer kept screwing up Cincinnati and San Diego the entire match anyway. So you could be forgiven for thinking Anders Dreyer was a Cincinnati player.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to just keep belaboring the same stuff over and over, because I feel like we've talked about a lot of things, and I'm sure, you know, I guess I find our thoughts on or at least my thoughts on tactics are like as interesting, I'm sure, as like I would find Pat Noonan's thoughts on like what's funny. But
you don't think he's got a good sense of humor?
He's got a sense of humor for sure.
I'd be curious what Pat Noonan's favorite comedian is and his favorite comedy movie is. I don't know.
It's The Hangover. I'll answer for you.
I guarantee you we don't have the same favorite comedian.
Almost certainly not. But like, if Pat Noonan told you with a straight face, like, oh yeah, no, Spaceballs, greatest movie of all time, I'd believe that.
I don't know.
Or if he
I
said
don't
like
think I buy
rat
that from
race, that would track too, I feel like. Now, if he went full like death to Smoochie, like that would be a ball knower moment right there.
That's good. That's a deep cut. I like that.
I feel like I would say Noonan probably doesn't listen to like comedy podcasts.
I hope not.
But I wouldn't be surprised if some of the other front office employees were like Rogan listeners.
Ooh.
Have you ever seen Pat Noonan laugh? I don't think I have.
Yeah, he does that. He does that little chuckle sometimes.
No, not a chuckle, like a full on.
It's when he thinks somebody said something really stupid.
No, like the idea of Pat Noonan doubled over in laughter. I can't picture that.
Anytime you spend laughing is time not optimized to your end goals.
No, every time he thinks he sees something funny, he just replays the fact that there are games that end with more than 2 goals being scored, and he's played a lot of them this year. And that just brings him down.
It'd be really funny to me if Noonan was one of those guys who was like, oh, okay, you're doing Jester. You're Jester maxing. If that was like Pat Noonan's vocabulary.
I've seen this is some of like my favorite comedians. When told something really funny, they won't laugh because the analytical side of their brain won't turn off. They'll just go, that's really funny. And like they're already like thinking about like how to build off of it, how to incorporate it into something. Pat Noonan strikes me as that kind of guy of like, I recognize what you're doing. That is funny.
I have found from watching like clips from like comedians like talking to each other is that I would agree with you, Kevin, that like they laugh the hardest at stuff that's like not remotely funny, like stuff that they would never use in their act. That's just like really stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like jokes they'll talk like really thoughtfully about.
Yeah. Like the things
funny.
that most comedians laugh about is like that I've seen is like when they're ball busting on one another or on other people, like that makes them laugh. Like an actual like comedy routine. Most of them are mad they didn't come up with it. Or
right.
If they like it, they're mad they didn't come up with it. If they don't like it, they're just thinking about how this person's a hack and taking money that should belong to them or spotlight time that should belong to them.
Yeah.
I just can't picture Pat Noonan in a belly laugh. I just don't think it happens. Maybe it does. Maybe like it would be really funny if he found something. It'd be great if he found something really like base to be funny. Like if it cracks him up when like a fart video comes across his TikTok or people falling down, if that's like his big thing, or like a 5-minute compilation of people getting hit in the groin. And that is just the funniest thing ever to him.
Is that channel from Idiocracy, the Ouch My Balls channel?
Ouch My Balls channel, yeah.
Maybe the funniest thing in the world to him is starting Dado Valenzuela, but as a striker. He's just cracking up as he's filling this out. He's like, oh, they want to see Dado starting. I'll start him. Watch this. This will be hysterical.
I did get the sense when people like have asked like about, is Dado a long-term option as like a deeper midfielder? Yeah. That does seem like the type of thing that he finds really funny. Yeah. Like people asking him that question.
Yeah, guys. We just found Andres Pirlo once again. He was coming up through our academy.
Right. Do you think this is a long-term plan for him? Absolutely not. No. As he thinks to himself, that's a stupid question. He's playing here. Of course it's a possibility as a long-term plan. Like if I didn't think it was workable, I wouldn't be doing it, you dumb fuck.
Or like, no, it's not possible because I've already agreed to trade him to Portland. We just have to wait until the World Cup break to make it official.
Maybe that's why he's playing more.
Showing him off for a trade.
Is like we've already got the deal done, so there's no reason.
Yeah, let's just have him eat up some minutes and not burn Jabari and Barlow's legs for the last half of the year.
Right. We got to save Jabari's legs for September.
The crew have already hired Wilfred Nancy, and we've already made a deal to send Dado to Columbus. Like that was his first like move coming. Like true villain
arc.
You're
breaking some news here for a second.
No. About this game, I'm like Grayson. Like the backline is what it is. I don't really find it interesting to talk about anymore. Kenji Mobidem though, that was cool.
Hell of a bright spot.
That was kind of cool, right?
I thought he looked pretty good out there.
Defense a little
sus,
on
record. Yeah, whatever. I've been on record that his future as a starter for a good team, if it's anywhere, is going to be out as like a left back or left wing back.
What did you think?
I'm
of
sorry,
his
you're not
performance?
finding like a starting striker on like a MLS Cup team in the second round of the draft or whenever we got him for the University of Dayton.
Denver.
But what did you make of his performance? Or Denver, according to whoever was on play-by-play. What did you make of his performance, though, as wingback versus striker that we've seen the last? Was he better as a wingback? You can project his career out as wingback. I think that makes sense. But I think I liked him more as a striker.
I don't know what the second striker on this team does.
So
I guess that's tough.
I guess my thoughts is his defensive deficiencies are going to be less on display at striker, but he is not good enough at striker, and based on his age and everything, not likely to be good enough at striker to give me the ceiling that I want at that position.
Question though,
I hope I'm wrong. It'd be awesome to have a awesome striker on his salary.
Has there ever been in the history of Pat Noonan's FC Cincinnati someone who has looked good at second striker? I guess
Brendan Vasquez or Brenner, whichever one you think was the second striker.
Like it just feels like it's a revolving door of we don't know what this
Brenner
guy does.
last year.
Brenner last year was probably it. So maybe the answer is Brenner. Did we have Vasquez and Bupenza at the same time?
Yeah.
Yes.
At the end of 23.
And Vasquez wasn't looking good at that point.
He did not look good there. So yeah.
And Bupenza basically only looked good when Lucho wasn't on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he looked really good. That was such a weird setup.
Yeah.
But like we don't, it just feels like the second striker position, at least for the last like 2.5 years, has just kind of been a revolving door of, I guess this guy runs a lot.
I mean, would you like, yeah, I mean, he, I guess he is an upgrade in the sense that like, if you look at who we've had at these positions the last couple of seasons,
better than Joe Aquini.
He's been more productive than Corey Baird, been more productive than Joe Aquini, been more productive than
Sergio Santos,
ladder Dambaji, Kai Kamara, ladder Sergio Santos.
Mm-hmm.
So in perspective, there, you're very happy to have Kenji. However, it does make you think striker. It does, yeah. I mean, it's like, why have we not been able to do better?
I don't think it's the
second striker's fault.
No, some of these guys were on pretty good contracts, like Corey Baird.
Sure, but like if everybody sucks in the second striker role, it does make one wonder what the second striker is actually being instructed to do. Like, I would think the answer would be score goals, but it doesn't seem like that happens a lot.
Well, I think if you thought the second striker's role was to score goals, the exercising the option on Jabari feels like it probably would have disabused you of that belief. Sir,
this is not the podcast where we're going to have Jabari slander.
I know, but
he gets 1 week off.
I'm not doing slander, right? Because like, even when we signed him, we thought like, what are the things that you want him to do? Right? Like the things that we assumed he was being signed to do were not score a lot of goals. And he didn't score a goal, but he had an awesome play where he used his height and physicality to bring down a ball that Tom Barlow finished. And if he could use his tools to leave balls for Denke to finish, I mean, that's kind of like what we expected the idea with him would be. We just haven't seen a lot of it.
Yeah. You'd assume
why does he do that? He should do that more often. Yeah, why doesn't he do that more often?
I don't know.
It feels like a repeatable skill. You're big, ball goes high, you're higher, head the ball down to somebody smaller that's running forward. That seems like a great plan. We should try that more often.
Feels obvious. But then on the Tom Barlow point, isn't Tom Barlow our best second striker? He's certainly the most productive.
Good, right?
Yeah. And if
Was he
the
in
second
7
striker's
goals in all
job,
comps?
yeah. If his job is just to run the whole time, he's the best at that. Like, it's undeniable there.
But there's a world, and it's not that hard to imagine that Tom Barlow ends up with 20 goals across all competitions, because we have over half the season left, like in excess of half the season left, and Leagues Cup. And if things go well, maybe the playoffs, like it could happen. It would be the dumbest possible way to get a 20 goal scorer. Like, here, we're going to bring a guy in on a supplemental roster spot and just, have his foot be in the right place at all times.
So last year, Brenner coming in as the second striker was great. And it was a sort of a funny little loan situation. I think the lesson here is the second striker just can't cost money. Like Brandon Vasquez was making what, 300,000 maybe. So if your second striker makes more than that, it's not going to work.
All right,
but if he makes less than that, it's going to be great.
I'm going to spit some Tom Barlow facts at you guys.
I love Tom Barlow facts.
Dream of.
Two Tom Barlow facts that I think should blow your mind. Right?
Can I have 2 Tom Barlow facts and a lie, please?
Oh, this is fun. Yeah.
two Tom Barlow facts and a lie.
Yeah, we'll give you a moment to come up with a lie.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Two Tom Barlow facts and a lie.
Okay.
One, he is the Daniel bit my finger kid.
That's obviously true.
Charlie bit my finger.
Tom Barlow bit my finger.
One, he's the Charlie bit my finger kid.
Okay.
2, he has scored more league goals this season than he ever has in MLS. And 3, he has scored more goals in all competitions this season than he ever has, except for USL Championship. So
wow.
So if you exclude the seasons he spent at USL,
okay,
he has more goals in all competitions this year than he has ever had before. And he already has more MLS goals this season than he has ever had before.
How many MLS goals does he have in total before FC Cincinnati? 20?
Let's see.
It's not a lot.
He has 22.
Okay.
Well, he had 18 coming into the season in MLS play.
Okay.
And he's got 4 with us this year. So he's been in MLS since 2019, and he has just under 20% of his league goals with us this year in 2026.
Dude, if he gets like 5 more the rest of this year, which seems like bare minimum,
I would hammer the over on that. Like,
yeah,
we have. So should we? Let's start the clock. We're on watch for the Barlow's dozen.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Beg,
we're on the lookout for
Oh,
Barlow hitting 12 goals in all comps this year.
Something.
But the Barlow's doesn't be
Barlow.
13, wouldn't it?
Sure, we can say that.
Yeah. No, if a Baker's dozen is 13, a
Barlow's
Barlow's
dozen
is 11.
Barlow's dozen's 11.
He ate it. He ate one.
Fine. Do we think Barlow gets to more than 11 goals in all comps this year?
Yes.
I think he gets to more than 11 before the end of September.
That would be
before
more,
the end of May.
It looks like the most goals he's had in all comps, if you exclude USL,
okay,
is 5 in a year.
Come on, baby.
Other than this season. We've already said that.
Right.
Yeah.
If I told you he was getting a Hattie on Saturday, no one would be like, no, that's ridiculous at this point.
I mean, he almost did it last night.
Who's putting money on Tom Barlow to score
Who's putting money on Tom Barlow for the Golden Boot? That's what I want to know.
He can't even start, but he'll win the Golden Boot.
Here's a Tom Barlow factory. What do you say? He has 4 goals right now in MLS competition, Grayson?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in the entirety of 2025, the year of our Lord 2025, there were only 4 FC players that scored more than 4 goals last year. Dado with 5, Brenner with 6, Denke with 16, Evander with 18. Like, if you go back to 2024, there was only
how many did Joe Aquini score for us?
That would be a big fat old Cerro right there.
No, he scored the 1 and VAR took it away from him.
Yeah. He scored 1 goal in our heart.
Yeah.
Surely.
So here's some Tom Barlow. Who is Tom Barlow chasing history right now? Tom Barlow needs 2 more goals, 3 more goals to surpass Kevin Kelsey's 6 in 2024. Okay. He needs 4 more goals in league to surpass Alvaro Barrial's 7 goals in 2023.
Whoa.
And he
Hollowed
needs
ground right there.
Right. He needs well, he's already cleared Ian Murphy and Calvin Harris with 1 goal each. He's passing some FC Cincinnati legends. That's what I'm just saying, folks, right here is we're getting up there in the numbies.
Where is he in the all-time list? Does anybody have that up?
I was actually just thinking, like, where could he realistically get this season in all comps?
Here's the real question. If we can get Tom Barlow on the show, where does he get with the postcast bump? Like what happens if that happens?
The world isn't ready for that.
The Barlow bump.
He's sitting 2 goals in all comps behind Dado, Alan Cruz, Bupenza, Andrew Wiedemann. Okay. He's 3 goals behind Sergio Santos in all comps.
Wait,
to get to the next.
Wait, hold on. He's 3 goals behind Sergio Santos in all comps.
For us.
I feel like people overvalue Sergio Santos because of the 1 assist he got in the playoffs. Guys, he was horrible for this team.
For a lot of the time, yeah. But then the next player, he'd have to get to 15 to catch Luka.
He can get to 15.
I believe in him. I believe in him
too.
You got to start him every Leagues Cup game.
You probably got to start him every MLS game too. I don't know that that's happening, but maybe it will. 2 goals. I mean, why would he not earn the start? I don't know. It's tough to bench Kenji.
Kenji might be the wingback.
You benching Brian Ramirez?
Play Brian Ramirez at left center back.
Because he was so good at defense. I think you're better off putting Brian Ramirez at second striker than
he'll be the Lucas Engel replacement that we always thought he would be.
This team is great at signing wingbacks for a lot of money and then ends up playing him at center back. We love it. It's our thing.
This guy's a winger. Okay, great. So he'll be a center back. Sounds good.
It's positionless football, total football. Just get out there and just go do some stuff.
Just have fun, guys.
So Thursday show, we will do the predicted lineup for Orlando. We have so much to work with. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
All right. Can we talk a little bit about Ayoub Jabari? Like, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. After this game and that highlight, which will live forever.
Oh boy.
This is a highlight that will live forever. You can go back and you can watch this whenever you're feeling bad to hear Sasha Kleston screaming like an idiot in the background of the highlight. You can remember that moment
enjoy himself
when they snatched Ty from the jaws of defeat. Did this goal justify the $1 million this assist? Not goal, assist. Did this assist, goal contribution? Did this justify the $1 million price tag for Ayoub Jabari?
800,000, I believe.
Okay.
I believe that's where we sit on it. We've
800,000.
Postcast confirmed.
Have we come up with the MLS Moneyball how much a goal is worth? Like just in general, how much should you be paying?
So we know from Chris Albright that Sergio Santos's 1 assist against New York Red Bulls in the 2022 playoffs was worth like $1 million in GAM, plus him being on contract north of $1 million 3 years later.
So $4 million for 1 assist, give or take.
Yeah,
it's
so
inflation,
4 to 5 million
factor.
for 1 assist, but it was a playoff assist and it was a game winner. So this is a game tire. It's an assist, not in the playoffs. So $800K, maybe that's worth it, but you got to cover his salary too.
But the 800K
he needs to do something else.
The 800K is amortized over the 3-year deal. So you're really only covering what, like 250, 260?
Yes, but we were told, or at least it was implied, that Sergio Santos's 2022 assist was worth on its own his contract 2-3 years later.
Acquisition and contract, yes.
Right. Because that was the package. And the promise that he made was this guy's going to win you a playoff game, which he did.
Yeah.
He did. So 800.
So we payday loaned that win.
So round up to say 1.2 million. That might be worth it. That might actually be worth 1/4 of a playoff assist.
Doesn't he have 2 he has 2 game tying assists this year, right?
Jabari? Yeah. He did the pass to
he got
Kenji.
He did the pass to Kenji a few weeks ago. Yeah.
He's a bargain. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
So that was a goal to tie a game, right? That wasn't a game winner, right?
He also
the Kenji goal? I don't remember.
It was to tie.
Yeah.
So was this one.
So this one. So that's 2 points. That's 2 points. So put a pin in this for the end of the year. If we are 2 points clear of like getting a home playoff game, think how much extra money that brings in.
Yep.
Think how much better of a position it is. Sorry. That's
But before I know people are probably yelling at their radio when they're listening to us on their car radio.
Yes.
What about the assist what about the game-winning assist to Brenner in last year's playoffs against the Crew? Well, that was when he was on loan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that was whether the loan fee was worth it.
So it was absolutely worth it.
Now, when you exercise the purchase option, that's all prospective. So you can only look at what happened after you purchase the contract.
Right.
Yeah. Does he get rewarded though? Do we owe him?
No.
Was the loan fee so
performance.
low and the Columbus win so great that we actually owed him money?
You only pay for past performance. That's how sports works. That's
No,
why
you
so many
pay-
teams got bad contracts. You're paying for past
But
performance.
you pay for what you think they're going to do based on past performance.
Unless you're Matt Miazga and Obina Wobodo and Teenage Davey,
Right.
in which case you're paying for what you think perhaps you're paying for a different version of the past performance than the immediate past performance. You're paying for the past performance, not the immediate past performance, because the immediate past performance does not suggest good future performance. But if the future performance looks more like the past performance, maybe you can justify it as a value.
I did think, and just to mention it real quick, because we don't have to go deep on it. Jeff Cameron went on Laurel's podcast recently, maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know. And he did seem to kind of have a misconception about how you should evaluate like contracts in a salary cap league. And he was like, well, if I'm over in Europe, they would, I've been with the club for a long time. They'll pay me, a good salary, give me 2 more years on my deal. It's like, well, in a salary cap league, you can't give a guy like $1 million because he played for Stoke City 6 years ago.
Yeah. You can give him 100,000.
Yeah. And it's nothing against, nothing against Jeff or any other player, but you have to evaluate like how much money I'm going to give this guy in a salary cap league, based, especially a league with such a tight, low salary cap like MLS. The only way you should be evaluating these things is once he signs the deal, what value am I going to get moving forward versus the money I'm spending? Period.
And also, I think the years factor into it too. Like that was sort of like, we'll have plenty of time to talk about this, but it came up on the Discord, and it's just, I understand that like a lot of like what the angst we're going through as fans of the FC on this idea of we're not getting great performances out of our center backs. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. But if there is one thing that you can and should take solace in, it's the idea that most of the players we are talking about as, these guys aren't really living up to their contract number. None of them were re-signed to new deals this offseason. There were options that were picked up, but there weren't new deals given. And that's significant because if you want to get these players off your team because it's not working out, it is a lot easier to go to ownership and say, hey, we need to eat the second half of this contract, this option, than, hey, we need to eat a 3-year deal. And it also, for certain players, maybe like an Obi, it does raise the possibility as well this summer that if you don't have a buyout to use, that perhaps you and the player can come some sort of a mutual understanding that, hey, maybe it would be better if you looked for other opportunities over in Europe or wherever now in their primary transfer window and signed a new deal that gives you more long-term stability versus us letting you know we're not going to pick your deal up and you'll be looking for work in the winter instead of the summer. Like, it's a lot easier to come to a mutual term in those situations where a player may say, yeah, I'm leaving $500,000 on the table, but if I can get this new club to offer me 3 years and $3 million, I'll leave the money on the table to make sure and get that certainty right now. So they are in a good position. It might have been better if they hadn't picked some of these options up, but it is not an untenable position in terms of fixing things right now as a result.
Yeah. Obi's deal is through 2027, which just reminds me that we still haven't gotten clear resolution from the MLSPA as to how they are going to manage some of the language around that and whether or not they are being consulted on it. If they do need to sign off on it, what exactly that looks like, because this is certainly the case where an MLS team might say, no, the sprint season counts for 27. We're good now. Versus the player going, no, you got me through halfway through the second part of that year.
No, there are dates on contracts.
Yeah, fair.
And league year has a definition in the CBA. It's January 1st to December 31st.
The contract would say date not for the 2027 season.
Correct. The contract, okay. I've looked at a couple of MLS contracts and they had dates in them.
Okay. Because, that would be my concern is if you said the 2027 season, the whole can of worms. All right. Well, we'll see what happens then. But still, MLSPA still needs to, I think, sign off on that. I don't know. More of a world's game topic, I guess. Is there anything else for this game? We'll certainly be back later this week to discuss the upcoming Orlando. Dado's better as a midfielder. I'll just throw that out there. Yeah. Denke, quiet night, but I think so many of the issues around him being quiet was happening behind him, not necessarily him.
A lot of minutes too. Like you could see in the second half of that game, he was out of gas. Tired. That's a lot of travel and a lot of minutes. But I agree with you, Kevin. Like Dado needs to be in that midfield pivot role. That's where he needs to be all the time.
Also, Kieran Sargent, not related to Josh Sargent. Mm-hmm. I was convinced of that through this game. I had to look that up later. Not related, similar last names. I don't even think it's spelled the same. So there you go.
So if you were curious after this game where the FC is in terms of just life in MLS right now, they are in the Eastern Conference. They are currently, I believe, occupying the the play-in playoff position right now. So they are technically in the playoffs. More interesting, perhaps, than that to me is that they are currently 30 goals scored, only behind Miami with 33, and San Jose with 31, Vancouver with 30 with one fewer game. I think they play later tonight, or they're playing right now. Vancouver.
No, Vancouver played last night, or they're off at least. The last game of the night is LAFC Nashville. Nashville's beating them, so that's fun.
So currently, as it sits right here, third best offense in MLS, which I would not have predicted after 14 games. But also,
and it's still not clear who the best second striker is on this team.
But also, not for nothing, 35 goals against, trails only Orlando at 38. They have fallen behind Sporting Kansas City with 34 goals. Philadelphia
Union, who are dead last in the Supporter Shield race, have only given up 24 goals.
Yeah. You know what? Nashville's only given up 8 goals this year. That's insane. They're so good.
What the hell?
But
9 goals. They got scored on tonight.
There we go. So we're chasing some history right here, and I don't want that to be overlooked. If you go back to the 2019 season, FC Cincinnati, 75 goals allowed in 2019. In 2021, 74 goals allowed. Folks, we are on pace.
Chief, is FC Cincinnati in 2026 the 2025 San Jose Earthquakes?
Maybe. Actually, no. You know who they are? Legitimately. Like, they are defensively, they are the 2022 FC Cincinnati team. And much like the 2022 FC Cincinnati team, they need Matt Miazga and Obi, but they need 4 years ago Matt Miazga and Obi. So the goal, if you want to be optimistic about this FC Cincinnati team, they need what they need. They have done before. They just need to go find that version that's 4 years younger.
All right. Well, to it, Chris Albright.
Or like overseas illegal stem cell treatment for Obi and Matt that like shaves 4 years off.
Tomato. Well, I think that just about does it for us, Chief. Chief, you want to get us out of here?
Sure. To the coachless Columbus crew, fuck Columbus.
The Cincy Postcast is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Blue Sky, though, you'll find we're a little more active than the other places. We're also on YouTube, where you can listen to this episode if you aren't listening to it already. We are also putting up video content semi-regularly, including the Away Days series. We want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing the music for this episode. They are a lovely band, and you can find more information out about them in the description of this episode. And if you happen to enjoy what you just heard, can I please ask that you like us, that you rate us on whatever app you're listening to, and maybe more importantly than all of that, share this episode with a friend. When it comes up at work, you're talking about FC Cincinnati, I say, hey, I listened to an FC Cincinnati podcast. I think you guys will like it. It would really, really help us out. Nothing helps a podcast travel more than a good recommendation from a friend, family member. That would be awesome. When it comes to the sorting algorithms that control our lives, a 5-star review would be much appreciated. Also, leaving a sort of written review weirdly does more then that. That's how the algorithms work. So maybe say a nice or a mean thing, whatever. Just as long as you give us 5 stars, that'll really, really, really help us out. And if you are looking for more MLS content, check out our other podcast, The World's Gam. Again, a link will be in the description of this episode. That is where we touch on league-wide storylines and news, and we talk about other games and a couple other teams in there as well. I think you will enjoy it if you are just dipping your toes into Major League Soccer. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. A even bigger thank you to all of our patrons over at Patreon. But maybe most importantly, thank you for listening to this episode.